Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, Ticking Together. As always, the goal of this channel is to provide education about and to raise awareness as to what it's like living with Tourette Syndrome. In today's video, I wanted to talk about something that isn't addressed very much in the Tourette Syndrome community, the world of Tourettes, and I wanted to get some awareness out there. So today we are going to talk about subtle tics. Subtle tics are some of my most common tics. And you're probably thinking, Carly, you have tons of very large movements and weird vocalizations. How are subtle tics your most common tics? The thing is, you guys never notice the subtle tics. That's the point of them, they're subtle. And a lot of people in the Tourette Syndrome community, as well as tic disorders, FND, pandas, the list goes on, a lot of people who deal with tics experience very subtle tics. And so even though in my videos you see a lot of larger movements, at the same time I'm doing tons of smaller things that you wouldn't even notice. So I wanted to shed some light on subtle tics and say, hey viewer, if you're out there with tics and you're having very subtle movements and you're thinking, am I not valid because I'm not like every other Tourette Syndrome person I'm seeing online? Because a lot of the Tourette Syndrome content creators showcase large, grandiose movements, have very comedic vocal tics. You're probably thinking to yourself, am I not valid? Because I think that to myself almost every day, even though I'm always having subtle tics. So something I wanted to mention is that subtle tics, as I said, are so common, and they're things that are so minuscule, so minute, that you would never really notice them unless you truly knew what you were looking for. And so I just wanted to bring awareness to them and say, you guys, if you are out there and you're experiencing these very minor movements that people don't notice, you're still so valid. And the thing is, for me, I still feel like I'm a fraud all the time, even though my tics are more severe than other cases, but again, not as severe as other cases. They're kind of in the middle. I do feel like I'm an imposter or like I'm a fraud because a lot of the time my tics are very subtle when I'm in public. And I redirect my tics to be subtle in public. So right now in my room, I'm letting out this neck tic. Sure, this is something I would do in public, but saying I got rice or something else like that, I got rice, or my ugh tic like that, that's things that I suppress in public, but I do so many things that are not noticeable. A lot of them involve swallowing, my tongue, my butt cheeks, my stomach. A lot of things that people don't notice involve tensing or wiggling toes and fingers or counting things at my side, you know, just different things that people don't automatically notice.
Watch this clip. I'm thinking of what I want to say, but having tons of very subtle tics. This is how I present almost constantly.
And I have a lot of tics that since people don't notice them, they'd immediately say, are you sure you have Tourette's? Because these tics are so subtle. And when I'm not having my larger tics, I'm just focusing on the subtle tics, I feel like I'm a fraud because my big tics are on the wayside and I'm focusing more on the subtle tics. But tics of all kinds are valid.
And here, more weird swallowing and tongue rubbing against teeth, as well as pushing my glasses up my face. These are all subtle tics.
As I said, you guys probably don't know the half of the tics I experience. Because when I'm in public, and I always fear this, if anyone were to ever see me in public that watches me on YouTube, they would immediately say, she's a fake. Because when I'm in public, I am so medicated and I've been to so much therapy that I am able to redirect my tics. And I know a lot of people can't do this, but I'm lucky enough that I can. And so when I'm at work, I'll just be doing swallowing tics or tensing my stomach or tensing my butt cheeks or wiggling my toes in my shoes or tensing my legs. A lot of the time I will have bigger tics, but a lot of the time as well, I will have just subtle tics. And this is something that I feel like just needs to be addressed. I'm probably gonna make a video on this more in depth in the future, but I just wanted to let you guys know that subtle tics are valid. And honestly, I get so many comments from you guys saying, is this a tic? Is this a tic? And they're just subtle movements like blinking or swallowing or throat clearing. And all of those things can be tics because subtle tics were some of the first tics that I ever experienced. Due to my Tourette syndrome, I have a lot of other more severe tics, but they've just come and gone over the years, and they progress and they wax and wane, and that's just because I'm diagnosed with Tourette syndrome. But people can experience tics for a variety of different reasons, and subtle tics are so common. So you are so valid if you are experiencing things that you don't see on social media, because I think even though it's a great thing that people are advocating and raising awareness, a lot of the time they showcase the very severe cases, which is good because there are a lot of severe cases out there. But people also need to showcase the more mild to moderate side where, yeah, subtle tics happen a lot for me, and they're annoying just as much as regular big tics, but they're still something that I deal with, and I just wanted to let you guys know. I hope this was just a quick little video addressing subtle tics. Again, I'm gonna make a bigger one. Ugh, I got rice. In the future, addressing more about them and kind of how I'll showcase some of mine maybe and just talk about it a little bit more in depth. So if you want to stay tuned to that, please subscribe to my channel and ring this notification bell to stay tuned to all of my content. I post about Tourette syndrome awareness, as well as some of my life stories of living with Tourette's for over 10 years. Give this video a thumbs up if you learned anything or if you experience subtle tics, and leave a comment down below saying hi, telling me what you'd like to see in future videos, or letting me know again if you experience subtle tics, because I'm sure a lot of people do, but it's not talked about as much as I think it should be. So yeah, as always, we're learning together, we're laughing together, and we're ticking together. Bye!